supreme. Hi, I'm Christy Birchfield, and today we're looking in the book of Mark. We're studying through this incredible book, understanding more about the gospel story, Jesus, his life, and everything that he did. And Mark has an interesting take on that because he really moves quickly from one thing to the next. He sort of bounces through the entire gospel, similar to almost like what we think of with ADHD. A couple of verses here on this story, a couple of verses on this story, and we're just ping-ponging all the way through. Now, today we're looking at chapter 2, verses 13 through 28. And there's a lot of verses there, and there's multiple different stories that are listed through those verses. You see Jesus continuing his ministry. And as he's doing this, we see an interesting theme played out in these conversations, because a lot of these stories are about back and forth discussions that Jesus is having with religious leaders. And kind of what's getting played out is Jesus or his disciples are doing something. The Pharisees, the religious leaders, some of the others, they get upset about it. They start to complain about it. Jesus explains how he's actually Lord over all of whatever it is they're complaining about. And whether it's something that those disciples are doing on the Sabbath, sometimes it's about how he's teaching. There's several different things that these people are just unhappy with how Jesus is conducting things. And Jesus is trying to help them understand, look, I'm over all of this. God is over all of this. Ultimately, we need to respect that and understand that instead of trying to be so legalistically focused on rules and regulations. It's about a relationship. People can say a lot of things, and they can think an awful lot of things, but at the end of the day, God is truly the one that's over everything. We cannot overstate how incredible God is. When God created the world, he created it for himself, to glorify himself. When God created the Sabbath for rest, he created that and said specifically that it was for us to rest. The leaders and the rulers had made it something that was so tied into rules and structure that they couldn't even rest during that time, even though that's what God had intended. It made no sense. Here God's saying, look, they got the whole concept wrong. The verse that we're looking at today is actually towards the end of that, and it's chapter 2, verse 27. And Jesus is telling them, look, he said to them, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Jesus is actually over the Sabbath. He is the Lord of the Sabbath, which is what it actually says in the next verse, in verse 28. The Sabbath was given to us as a gift. We saw that back in Genesis. Do we find our opportunities for rest, and do we use those as a way to glorify God? Understanding that God wanted us to rest in the best ways possible. God is supreme over everything, and we are to follow him. Make sure that you subscribe. We see so many incredible truths about God and about Jesus in the book of Mark, and you aren't going to want to miss any of them. And if you have not gotten caught up, there's a link in the description below that will take you to the full playlist for this series. God is over everything. Is he over you? Are you allowing him to be over us? Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.